Good morning. Welcome back to Student Victim Assistance Virtual Coffee Chats. My name is Avery Moore, and I'm a graduate assistant for Student Victim Assistance at Georgia State University. This morning, I just want to share with you some information about trauma-triggered memories. Let's take a few moments to chat about it. Before we get started, always remember that healing from trauma isn't linear, nor does it occur on a timeline. How someone is affected by trauma will differ for everyone. There's no standard or normal response for trauma. If you've experienced trauma, you may or may not be aware of what situations may trigger memories of your traumatic experience. Understanding what your triggers are is definitely a learning process. Triggers can be unrecognized and they can come in all forms, but there are ways that you can help identify your triggers by listening to your mind and your body, and also kind of tracing the roots of your emotions when you do experience a trauma-triggered memory. Experience a trigger often feels a little bit different than just feeling upset or feeling extremely uncomfortable, even though those feelings are also very valid as well, and they're important emotions to pay attention to. Instead, trauma triggers can affect a person's sense of space, time, and self. So emotions someone experiences while triggered, they may seem unrelated to the situation, they may seem a little too intense for the situation, or they may seem the opposite and seem a little absent for that specific situation. Additionally, triggers can be caused internally by our own feelings and thoughts, or they can be caused by something externally or something in our environment. So, for example, there could be something that you smell, see, taste, or touch that can all be potential triggers for a certain memory. Although everyone is different, there are a few potential signs for when someone's past trauma has been triggered. Learning these signs is both important for yourself and for others. So some examples of these signs would be giving a big reaction to something that you feel is small, zoning out, trembling, avoiding eye contact, expressing a strong desire to be alone, presenting self-soothing behaviors, shutting down, avoiding physical contact, or expressing a desire to move to a less stimulating environment. If you happen to experience a trauma trigger memory, try to move your body, go outside, get support, or practice some form of self-care that works for you. Let yourself feel and experience your emotions in a safe, comfortable place. If you unfortunately experience a trauma trigger memory in a place where it's hard to excuse yourself, try a few grounding techniques. So one popular grounding technique involves deep breathing, listening to nature sounds, or practicing self-soothing skills. So for example, noticing or naming 3 things that you see, smell, hear, or feel while breathing in and out slowly. And so that kind of covers just briefly a little bit about trauma-triggered memories. I hope that y'all learned a little bit more about trauma-triggered memories from this coffee chat and tips for what to do when they arise. You can follow us on Instagram at BeWellPanthers for more information about student health and wellness. And lastly, we're just going to go over a few Georgia State University resources that may be useful for you. So if you're seeking counseling services, consider reaching out to Georgia State University's Counseling Center. So students on all campuses can make an appointment with the Counseling Center by calling 404-413-1640, and that's also a 24/7 hotline. They also have same-day consultations that are available virtually, and then in-person and virtual ongoing appointments are available on the Atlanta, Clarkston, Decatur, Alpharetta, and Dunwoody campuses. However, if you're not on one of those campuses, they also have virtual appointments available for all campuses. And then lastly, a little bit more about student victim assistance. So if you have questions about trauma, if you need any kind of crisis intervention, or you want to set up an appointment with an advocate, please give us a call. We offer crisis intervention, advocacy, and support for students. We can also assist students in determining their options and providing information related to their experience, even if they have no idea what to do or they're not really sure if what they've experienced is trauma, which is a very perfectly normal response to a traumatic experience. Students who seek our services are not obligated to pursue criminal or university charges. If you want more information or you'd be interested in scheduling an appointment with an advocate, you can call us at 404-413-1965. That's 404-413-1965. Advocates are also available to help students who have experienced any kind of recent or past trauma or victimization, even if that was experienced on or off campus. Student victim assistance can also help students regain a sense of control over their traumatic experience so that they can resume their academic and personal pursuits. And then lastly, student victim assistance can also help students who perhaps haven't experienced trauma themselves, but they know someone who's been victimized or they would like to learn more about student victimization. That wraps up everything for today, but please take good care and we'll see you next Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Have a wonderful day.